There's a trend within the technology industry for products to get more and more powerful with more and more features as professionals and consumers demand more from their technology, and then later down the line those products get smaller and smaller. Think about your laptop, your phone, your tablet, your games console. You get more power with every subsequent generation, and then a little bit later down the line those products get smaller and lighter and easier to carry. Now the same thing is true for us guitar players. We want the latest modeling tech, the latest technology in DSP power, but over the years those products get smaller and smaller and smaller. And it's been a definite trend that companies have released flagship units, large products, and then release miniaturized versions of those that are more portable. Now, most of those products come with compromises to the DSP, so you can do less with the miniaturized versions than you can with the flagship products. And this is where I want to introduce you to the brand new Boss GT-1000 Core. Now, Boss released the GT-1000 a couple of years ago, and it's a fantastic, very, very powerful unit. And the GT-1000 Core is exactly the same DSP with exactly the same amount of power, exactly the same amount of features, bar just a couple of compromises due to the size. But effectively, you're getting a full-fat GT-1000 experience in a smaller device. Absolutely fantastic. So let's check it out. So when I checked out the GT-1000 about a year ago now, one of the things that really impressed me about it was the fantastic feel and response that you got from that unit. Now, it goes without saying that even at the lowest end price point of the market, all modelers these days sound great. That's been nailed for a while now, but they don't all feel great. And you as a guitar player, you spent years and years honing the nuances in your playing, your ability to express yourself on the instrument, and you want that to come through in the modeler that you're using. And this is often a complaint that people have about digital modeling. It just doesn't feel right. Well, there are good reasons why the GT-1000 and the GT-1000 Core feel really great to play. And it all starts with the highest quality possible processing across the board. Boss give you 32-bit analog to digital conversion within the GT-1000, along with a really high 96 kHz sample rate, and 32-bit floating point precision processing. Now that means that everything that you play is perfectly translated throughout the digital signal path of this unit. So not only have you got incredible DSP processing power, you can ensure that every single tiny bit of your playing is being translated in the most accurate way that technology can provide right now. The interaction and two-way torque process of the pickups in your guitar, the speaker of the amplifier, the circuitry, the tubes, all plays a huge part in the feel that you get and the response when you're playing through a real amplifier. Now, Boss's A.I.R.D technology nails this two-way torque process between your guitar and an amplifier within the digital modeling realm to give you the most accurate feel and response of pretty much any modeling unit on the market right now. The amazing feel and response of the A.I.R.D technology of the GT-1000 core can be tailored depending on whether you're plugged into an amplifier, whether you're plugged into a power amp return, an FR/FR speaker, a pair of headphones or studio monitors. For any situation, you can ensure that you've always got the most optimized feel and response for that particular gig, that particular recording session, wherever you might find yourself. Now, just like the GT-1000, you've got 24 blocks of effects and amp models that can all be switched on simultaneously for some unbelievable tone shaping. Those 24 blocks can be positioned anywhere within the signal chain that you like and can be very highly customized. Now, along with that, you also have 3 dividing paths that you can utilize. So you can have really complex serial and parallel routings going on for some incredibly complicated and versatile tonal setups. Boss have included a huge array of effects with the GT-1000 core, just like its bigger brother. They've got all of their classic and vintage Stompboxes available here, including all of their MDP effects, and also the 500 series effects. So if you're familiar with the MD500, the DD500 or the RV500, you'll be right at home with this unit, enabling you to craft up to 250 user presets, so you are never going to run out of space or creative possibilities. Ultra-fast patch switching with delay crossover as well ensures you'll never be caught out on stage or in the studio. And there's an innovative Stompbox mode included as well, which allows you to customize the sound of any particular effects block and save that as a preset or Stompbox, which can then be spread across a whole range of presets for easy editing and tweaking across those presets later down the line. All you need to do is save that Stompbox, change the setting on one preset, and that change will be reflected across all of your presets in Stompbox mode. Considering how small and compact the GT-1000 core is, it has a fully featured I/O section. We've got stereo inputs for running in true stereo mode, and then we have a pair of send and return loops. Now, these send and returns can be used for adding external Stompboxes into our signal chain, and of course those Stompboxes can be placed anywhere within the signal path as we like. We can also use the sends for running sub outputs. So our main outputs could be run to, say, front of house, and then the sub outputs could be run to a PA or wedge on stage for monitoring, or they could be run to an external recorder. Anything you want basically, and they can have their own global EQ and their own A.I.R.D setting. We then get stereo outs, so left and right, and also a headphone output on the left output as well. And then we've got a pair of controller inputs, which can each run 2 external foot switches or a single expression pedal, allowing us up to 4 external switches and 2 expression pedals. On the side here, we find our second controller input, and then we've got TRS MIDI on here. Now this is huge because if you've got a Boss ES8 or an ES5 or any MIDI-enabled foot switch or amplifier, whatever, you can actually control either from the GT-1000 core your devices, or you can control the GT-1000 core from a MIDI foot switch, which is really, really powerful. The GT-1000 core will even do amp channel switching for you via the GT-1000's remote foot switching capabilities. This enables you huge flexibility as to how you use the GT-1000 core as part of your rig. You could just use this itself for everything, or you could add in external expression pedals and controllers for more flexibility. You could add in external effects as well and run those through the loops. Masses and masses of potential here, depending on whether you're going for portable or whether you want masses of power. So using those external controllers such as the FS6, FS7 and then Boss's expression pedals allows you to create as complex a setup as you need, but still when you need it to be smaller, reduce the size down as you want to. Now, of course, there are the 3 foot switches on board and all of the controls on here as well with this large screen. And this is basically in the chassis of the 500 units. You can see the size is essentially the same, but with a bigger screen. Now the 3 buttons on the foot switches here allow us to use the unit in 2 different modes. We can have memory mode, where basically the up and down foot switches will switch between presets, and then we have controller 1 allowing us to assign that to any function within any of the different blocks that we so desire. In manual mode, we can assign any of the foot switches to switch on or off our effects blocks. So you could assign distortion, delay and reverb, for example, to any of the foot switches. And actually, if you hold down the 2 arrow buttons on the front of the unit, you can access those effects really quickly and edit them using the 5 dials on the front. In memory mode, these 5 dials can be assigned to any of the parameters of the unit, but by default, they will control your amp controls. Creating and editing sounds for the GT-1000 core is very straightforward and intuitive using the controls on the front panel itself, but of course you can always connect via USB to your computer, Windows or Mac, and use Boss's Tone Studio software to really get deep and tailor all of the sounds with a really easy to use user interface. Boss have included a fully fledged looper within the GT-1000 core and a mono and polyphonic tuner as well, ensuring that whether you're practicing or playing on stage, you'll always be in tune and you will always be inspired. Bass players are not left out either. If you double on bass or if you're a full-time bass player, there are a whole bunch of dedicated effects, amp models and speakers just for you built into the GT-1000 core. So there we go guys, I hope you found this video useful. This is a fantastic product with almost zero compromises compared to the larger units. You're really only losing some foot switch capabilities, the XLR outs and some Bluetooth functionality, and that's pretty much it. So, as I say, hope you found this video useful. This is a powerhouse of a unit. As usual, if you click the link below, you can go across to Boss's website and check out all the details. And if you want to support me as a content creator and as a guitarist, you'll also find an affiliate link below where you can click on that. And if you buy the GT-1000 core, it just helps to support me a little bit. You can also help by clicking the like and subscribe buttons below and hit the bell notification icon to make sure you never miss any more of my content. As I say, hope you enjoyed the video guys. This is a superb product. I'm definitely going to want to get my hands on one of these. And yeah, I will see you all in the next video. Thank you very much indeed and bye bye.